So I decided to mood read in June and read 3 books. So hi, book 2. I am a Rebecca without my Sarah and with no memory apparently of how I'm supposed to set this up. I think the camera's all crooked. It's not framed the way I want it. I'm here. That's a step. It's been a good month. Yeah, I read 3 books in June. This is probably gonna be a pretty short wrap up, especially because I don't really, to be honest, I don't have a lot to say about like most of them. The first book I finished in June is Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I don't think y'all need me to tell you the plot of this book. I read it because the TV show was coming out and my friend Deb wanted to read it and we were buddy reading together. I was hesitating because while I love Neil Gaiman as a human being so much, I don't tend to like his novels. I like some of them, but for the most part, his writing's not for me. Really, my problem tends to be with his characters. I don't tend to like them, and that's what happened with Good Omens. When I finished it, I gave it 2 stars, and then I was talking to Deb about it, and I was like, well, I didn't dislike this nearly as much as American Gods, and then I realized I gave American Gods 2 stars, and I was like, I can't give both of these 2 stars. They're like completely different experiences, and American Gods like made me kind of mad, whereas like Good Omens, it's just, I totally understand why people love it, and some of it I found very funny and very good, but for the most part, it just wasn't my thing. So I did raise my rating to 3 stars. Mostly I just didn't really care about anyone, and I liked Crowley, and then like he's not in like this part of the book really, like the whole chunk in the middle there. I'm like, where's Crowley? I don't care about this dumb Antichrist kid or his dumbass friends. His dog's kind of funny. I didn't tend to enjoy the kind of rambly British humor, and I thought I was someone who liked British humor. I tend to, and I kind of can like rambly humor, but this just wasn't the kind that I like. There was a part, I was just like skipping footnotes, because there's so many footnotes in this book, and it's supposed to like add to the joke, and I was like, what are you even talking about? It's a book that kind of genuinely made me feel very stupid. Like I wasn't getting the references, and I don't like books that make me feel stupid, so I didn't really like this. But I get why people do, and I haven't watched the show yet, but I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna really, really love the TV show. So yeah, cool beans. I haven't said that in a while. Next up I finished Where Am I Now by Mara Wilson. I almost just said Matilda. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I actually think I'm really feeling nonfiction right now. I might pick up more soon, but I don't know. She's so wonderful. It was what I expected. It was what I wanted. It's just about Mara Wilson and her being a child actress and eventually kind of stopping that, and how her career as an actress kind of fell apart. I don't want to say fell apart because that seems harsh, but it kind of like she slowed down. It didn't halt suddenly. It was something that she gradually realized wasn't really working for her anymore. And she talks about being super awkward and great, and I related to a lot of this book. It meant a lot to me because I often credit Matilda as being the first fictional character that I felt like I really related to. I've actually never read the book Matilda, but I loved the movie growing up, like a lot, and I will watch it now. I watched it like last year. Like this isn't a movie I saw as a kid and it's gone from my life. Like I still genuinely really love this movie, and to know that I still kind of feel connected with Mara Wilson in a lot of ways was just great and brilliant. I cried a couple of times, particularly when she talked about Robin Williams at the end, and just a couple of other times I think. So this was really wonderful. If you've ever felt a connection with Mara Wilson or any of her characters growing up, I think that you'll really like this one. The third and final book I read, I don't have because my husband has it right now. I had gotten like a chapter into this, not even. I was like 3 pages into this book and I was like, honey, you have to fucking read this when I'm done because I really think you're gonna like it. And I started taking notes and then I gave it to him and now he's reading it and it's great. And I'm talking about the book In Other Lands by Sarah Rees Brennan. Kathy Trithart did like this massive buddy read for her birthday months ago, and I picked it up and I started reading it, really loved it. Like I was laughing out loud, I was really connecting with everyone, and then I put it down and I was like having trouble picking it up, which has been happening to me a lot the last couple of months. So I didn't pick it up again for a while, but Deb and I decided to buddy read it together, and for this wrap up, I have 2 books that I read with Deb, which never happens, but we finished In Other Lands so fucking fast that we're like, I think there was a week between us talking about Good Omens and us talking about In Other Lands. That has never happened with us. I started reading In Other Lands again, really got into it, and then I got to like maybe the halfway point or something like that, and I stayed up most of the night reading it. I think I was up till 4 in the morning, which that hasn't happened to me with a book in a really long time. Maybe I should tell you the plot. In Other Lands is about this kid named Elliot, and he's on a class trip, and I asked the kids, like, do you see a wall over there? And Elliot's like, yeah, there's a fucking wall right there. I tell Elliot that he has a chance to go to a school over there by that wall if he wants to, because not everyone can see that wall. And Elliot goes and discovers this whole magical world with unicorns and mermaids and magic and war and swords, and it's great. And the book itself follows Elliot throughout from 13 to 17, I want to say. Yeah, 13 through 17, as he's going to the school and adjusting to this world, and at the same time saying goodbye to the other world that he comes from and that he goes back to every summer, and acknowledging that he is gonna have to choose one. And it's so very good, and it was legitimately hysterically funny, like really funny, and the characters were so wonderful. Elliot is just, you want to punch him so bad, especially in the beginning. You're like, I've never hit a 13-year-old, hopefully. I've never hit a 13-year-old. Can't speak for the rest of you fuckers. I'd never hit a 13-year-old, but I kind of wanted to punch 13-year-old Elliot, because 13-year-old Elliot is horrendous. And then you kind of get to know him, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. And you're getting less horrendous. It's such a great arc because it's done at a realistic speed, and they kind of give you reasonings for why Elliot's kind of such a dick, but at the same time, like, he's still held accountable. Like, okay, there's a reason you're a dick, but also it's not cool to be a dick, Elliot. Like, can you stop, please? Plot-wise, there's not like a huge amount going on plot-wise. There's not like one real big story, I guess. The story is Elliot and these people that he's met. A really interesting thing about him is that you would expect, like, with a story like this, you expect the character to go in and learn to fight with a sword and be a warrior. Elliot, not down for that. Elliot's a pacifist, and he's basically like a politician. He's like becoming a politician in this world and making treaties, and he's very anti-violence. Creates a lot of debate throughout the book. You know, Elliot having this violence is never okay, and then war is sometimes necessary. This kind of like, ugh, it's so great. This argument, because it's so easy to see both sides here, and it's so easy to side with Elliot and to also, yeah, I'm rambling, but overall it's about him and finding his place here, finding his place in the other land, and it's just wonderful. And he's bisexual and embraces it so well. He's like, it's something that he's kind of just always known, which I really loved about him. And not that I think that struggling with sexuality stories aren't important too. Those are great and it's very real. But there are people who are just like, yeah, like I like guys, I like girls. That's just how it's been, and I'm fine with it. And that's just kind of Elliot's approach. It's not like, he doesn't really wrestle with this at all. He's like, he's got it, everybody. So fun. So much romance. That's so good. There's so many ships to ship here. I'd have a couple of complaints, but they'd be about the end a little bit, and it's this rare instance that I actually would have liked the book to be a smidge longer, even though it was already kind of long, but I would have liked it's just like tiny bit longer. But I really love that book, and it's actually kind of put me in a reading slump. Do you ever read a book that you like so much and you're like, I don't want to go, like I don't want to like leave the world. I get like offended by other books, like I don't want to do it. Yeah, I keep picking up books and I'm like, what is this? Who is this about? It's not about Elliot. You're not Elliot. Who cares? That's kind of where I'm at with reading right now. So I'm trying to crawl my way out. But yeah, I really do want to come back. I really want to read more. You know, if you read any of these massive amount of books I've read, if you've never read In Other Lands, please go read In Other Lands. It does not have nearly as much attention as I was expecting it to. It needs more love and support, and I just kind of want to yell about it with people still. So please go do that.